Hi guys, my name is Bohdan. I'm the founder of CreoGlass Design, and today I'm going to show you how to install a single glass hop splashback. This model is called Opera, which comprises of beautiful golden veins in a fantastic marble pattern. An ordinary household towel to protect your hop, but also to protect the face of the glass splashback. You will also need silicone. If you purchase these splashbacks from our e-shop, the silicone is already included, free of charge. It comes with a nozzle. Before you screw the nozzle on, you need to cut the main opening on the tube and then screw the nozzle on. You can also adjust the nozzle, which I like to do. I just cut off the fine tip at an angle of about 45 degrees. Okay, from the top. That will give you a little bit better maneuverable ending. A gun is something that you will need to get hold of yourselves. It is commonly available. This particular gun is quite advanced, it's a little bit more pricey, but then you can get hold of a basic ones as well for a few quid. A trash bin to throw away any sort of excess of silicone, which you will probably wipe with a tissue. And also I would like to introduce you today the perfect helper for your silicone work. So silicone work is the paramount in our industry, and it takes 60 to 70% of our work time is the silicone work. This is a fantastic tool called Kramer Fuji Kit, and it is basically a silicone based little square blocks that do have already preset angles, whether you want round, square, and it comes with the old silicone remover as well, a mechanical remover kit. So before the installation, before sticking the panel to the wall, make sure you inspect the panel for any sort of imperfections, scratches, so it can still be returned, okay, in the unlikely event of any sort of damages, because it will be difficult to remove it from the wall once it's cured. Before adding any sort of silicone onto the wall surfaces, we are going to do so-called dry fit. Make sure that everything fits perfect, and you do it in this kind of manner, okay? You very gently land the edge of the splashback onto your worktop. The reason why you need to be gentle is because the edges can chip. The glass itself is extremely hard, extremely strong, because it is tough and heat resistant, which is a process similar to forging of a steel. And now you just simply push it into the opening and it fits perfect. So now we are happy that we can actually proceed with the actual installation. People are using many different ways of applying silicone adhesive onto the splashbacks, and I also learned which ones are the best ones and which ones are not. Basically what you're looking at is making sure that at some point of your life or of the life of the kitchen, the splashback might need to be removed. Okay, so the most common technique that people would use is so-called a snake. So you would be applying a snake all the way around, okay, and then you would attach it. This technique, there's nothing wrong with the technique. It will consistently distribute the silicone and it will stick, will do the job. The problem comes when you need to remove the splashback. It will be extremely difficult because the silicone is just everywhere. So the other technique that I've seen is where people use rings, and the rings are designed to create kind of a suction pad similar to an octopus tentacle ring. These are fine, but again the same problem, the adhesion of this silicone to the wall is extremely strong, and it is very difficult, so difficult to remove the splashbacks. For the purpose of today's installation, you don't need the nozzle. You need the nozzle for finishing touches where only a controlled amount of silicone is required, whereas over here we're going to I refer to them as blobs. It's similar to creating icing on a cake, and we do only few. This amount is already sufficient to keep the splashback in position for years to come. Now I'm going to place the splashback back onto the upstand, onto the worktop, very gently so you don't chip the edge there, and just simply navigate the panel into the opening between the two cabinets and push it in position. Okay, now you can see there's a little bit of a cushioning space. Make sure that you squash those blobs completely flat. If the gap between the cabinet is uneven, just make it nice and even. And there you go. We'll inevitably end up with fingerprints and smudges on the glass itself. Okay, this is where a good choice of splashback design comes to place. If you use nice patterns that will help you to camouflage fingerprints and smudges or any sort of food splatter, so you don't need to attend the splashback to start cleaning it immediately, is a great idea. So today we're going to use Mr. Muscle. People ask, do you have a special glass cleaner for splashbacks? Our answer generally is any cleaner that is good for glass, whether it's your mirrors in the house or your windows, is good for the glass splashback. Don't use the scouring pad. The scouring pad is full of small sand beads. Okay, that will definitely scratch your splashback. We are using a microfiber cloth, and they're fantastic to use for any sort of general cleaning. Let's see how it works. Now, the last thing that we need to do is to add a silicone bead and create a watertight barrier. The reason why we decided to clean the splashback before the silicone is because once you have the wet silicone, it is very difficult to clean the splashback. Silicone will cure in about 6 to 8 hours on the open air. Okay, at the back of the splashback it will take a few days to cure fully. Now the silicone is ready. I've got the tension created inside, and I can start consistently pushing the silicone out in a continuous motion. If you do an excess like that, don't worry, because the squeegee kit will rectify any sort of imperfections. We are using a 5mm angle, okay, and the way to use it is very simple. You put it at a right angle against the worktop and against the glass. Take any sort of excess from the edge, okay, and make sure that your rubber squeegee is at a 90-degree perpendicular against the glass at all the time. So don't do that or this, because you are changing this angle of the finish. Okay, so try to keep it at a right angle all the time. You don't have to push very hard. Okay, and once you accumulate a large amount, swipe it and remove it in your tissue. Make sure that doesn't stick anywhere, because you're gonna have silicone absolutely all over your fingers, all over your clothes. There you go. That's done. So we're gonna do just the left and right side. I won't be doing the top. The reason is that the gap between the fan and the splashback is very inconsistent. So it will actually look ugly if I start filling it with the silicone. In some cases, to do the sides with the watertight silicone is not necessary. Now once you're done with the gun, you have to press the relieve the brake, okay, so it relieves the pressure within the tube and the pistons. Okay guys, so this is splashback installation completed. Now you just need to wait for another 6 to 8 hours for the silicone to cure. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of my DIY splashback videos. If you wish to know a little bit more about my latest designs, please navigate to my website CreoGlass and look for crystal stones splashbacks.